This series of videos are the steps that I took to fix a P0456 small vapor leak code. The first thing I did was replace the gas cap. It's only $10 and it easily could be the problem. The rest of this video covers the replacement of the purge control valve located here. The first step is to make some room so that you can actually get to the purge control valve. Undo the two hoses to the intake hose by pinching the collars and removing them, and then remove the intake hose itself by loosening the Phillips head screwdriver. So right here are the two hoses that I took off, and then after removing those two hoses, you remove the actual intake using a Phillips head screwdriver and just kind of pull it out of the way. The next step is to remove the hose from the front of the purge control valve. Do this by pinching the collar and pulling the hose toward the front of the car. As you can see in this video, mine's already off, but right there is where you're removing the hose from. The next step is to move two fuel lines out of the way. One of them is completely metal and loosens with two 10mm bolts. The other one starts metal and then transitions to rubber. So this is the one that starts metal and then transitions to rubber. I just pulled it off with a flathead screwdriver. And here is the two 10mm bolts on the all metal one, right there. When you remove the second screw, have a rag or something under there to catch any excess fuel. You should now be able to remove the old canister purge valve by pulling directly upwards on its bracket. After it's off, you can disconnect the electrical connector and black hose from the back. Just to orient ourselves here, the front of the car is to the left. Those are the two fuel hoses that you just disconnected. They should move out of the way, and then you can pull the canister purge valve up. And then once it's pulled up, disconnect the electrical connector and the black fuel hose from the back. The new canister purge valve installs the same way. However, it's easier to reinstall the back hose and the electrical connector and then slide it down onto the bracket before installing the front hose. As you can see, I struggled a little bit to get the back black hose on, but I finally got it when I used the needle nose pliers to undo the collar. Then you slide the new canister purge valve onto its bracket after the back electrical connector and fuel line are connected, and then connect the front black rubber hose and reattach the collar. The next step is to reconnect everything that you disconnected except for in reverse order. So start by reconnecting the two fuel lines / hoses, then the hoses to the air intake, and then the air intake to the manifold. So there is the new purge control valve with the electrical connector and black rubber hose that you've already connected. The front rubber hose should also be connected. Next, connect the rubber hose to the one fuel line that is half metal, half rubber, and then connect the all metal fuel hose using the two 10mm bolts. If you had to loosen this back bracket, be sure to tighten that also. Again, we're just reattaching the metal fuel line, top and bottom. The blue arrow in this picture shows the metal fuel line which you just reconnected. The red arrows show the hoses that you disconnected from the air intake, and then the air intake itself to the manifold at the bottom. The last and final step is to reset your check engine light with an ODB2 tool. If you don't have a tool, it should reset after a certain amount of cycles. However, if it doesn't, then you know that you have not fixed the problem, and on to part 2.